Hi.
Hi, good morning.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you okay.
So hi everyone. As you know, this year we are celebrating 20 years for Agoda. And as part of the celebration, we decided to invite our previous leaders to come and talk to us about the days that's been and what they learned at that time. So welcome, Joost. Maybe tell us a little about yourself and what did you do at Agoda?
Yeah, thank you very much. I've joined Agoda in 2005 with the main reason to start developing and building the new generation of tools for Agoda. I left in 2012, worked for another Priceline company. And on that moment it was called Priceline Incorporated, and I worked for another Priceline company, and Jaron took over my role in 2012.
What system did you work on that you think survived the most from the time you worked on it?
There's only one system possible there. It's EBE, the electronic booking engine. That was actually my first work day that I was at Agoda. I started designing the data model and the whole interaction model. That was in 2005, 2006. It was built by a team of very capable engineers. It was like Meng and Niwat and their team have built the system. And they have nursed it, I believe, until 2021 or 2022. I don't know exactly the date when it was sunset, but I know it's not in use anymore.
Yes.
But that was certainly the system that survives the longest of all systems at Agoda. I'm sure about that.
Wow, 16 years, it's amazing.
Yes.
So, you know, part of our tech vision is to enable and drive the business. Can you think of one occasion where you felt you were doing it as a leader of the team?
Back in 2009, we started talking to Google and started looking at the principles that they use with uploading spreadsheets, and it was like a terrible situation. We started talking to Google and they exposed an API, kind of experimental at first. And on that moment we had like 35,000 keywords in Google, and that was all managed by spreadsheets. And we connected to their API. Sometimes Google needs to tell us to back off a little bit because we were hitting them too hard yes, on their APIs. But we did grow to hundreds of millions of keywords.
Wow.
Let's say the technology at Google was not that advanced yet with regards to all the smart matches. So we needed a lot of keywords. Yes, I think that has tripled or quadrupled the company in 1 year.
Amazing.
That really made a difference.
That's really great. And you know, it's a common story of scale, right? At Agoda, that we take something and then 1 year it's X and then it's 10X and 100X and 1000X. So like in that sense of scale, can you think about one change or technology change you made that really scaled us up?
When I joined the company, the team that was here, it was a small team. They were busy with creating a 3-tier technology with like a database, a middleware, and the web service. Right. And we thought differently about it. The delays of all the processing in a middle tier would be too big. But we also realized that databases couldn't scale indefinitely. So we designed, with the help of Microsoft, we designed a replication paradigm where we had a lot of replicated databases with only the content that we needed to serve the website, and there we built basically directly on the database. We connected the web server that then serves or traffic, and that I think that architecture has also let's say stand the test of time. Yeah. I think it was certainly 10 plus years that still remains. Yes, sure. It was very successful.
Yeah, so we still have the MDB CDB architecture for most of the data, and obviously it grew a lot. It's hundreds and hundreds of servers now, but when you make a good architecture, it can scale by just increasing itself and on.
That's what we wanted. And also looking at the different data centers all over the world, that they could actually service the traffic that was close to them, so we could replicate the data easily to the United States and to Europe.
So you know, even though we have all this progress, obviously not everything always go as planned. Can you think about the case where it didn't just go kind of like we wanted it?
So we had, like say, multiple occasions where we were still very hands-on with a small team. I like data and I like working with data, selecting data. But sometimes there's a select statement or there's a delete statement. And I had multiple occasions. I must honestly say that I had to go to my head of data to say, can you please restore that table in the database for me because I just destroyed all the contents. So these kind of things happen, and they were always like, no, we need to restrict your access now. It actually never happened, the access restriction. But I was a little bit more careful because everyone was, of course, laughing at me as a CTO that deleted the data and had to go to one of my team to ask them to restore the data.
I see. Well, that happens sometimes when you move fast, right?
Yes, exactly.
Another thing that is very Agoda is that we like to build stuff ourselves. We try something out there, we can do better, and then we do it ourselves. Do you have a case like that you can mention?
Certainly when we started with social media, yes, in I think it was 2009, 2010, started with social media, people started to put blogging platforms,
right.
Stories got published about travel advice and all these things. We had a small team, yes, and we didn't want to get our team building new technology for that. So we used a product called Community Server that we implemented, and it kind of worked, but it was not, we couldn't make it work the way that our content team and our management and especially our CEO wanted it to work. So later on we had to reverse that and had to get our own technology. Yes. We always prefer to build our own technology, but sometimes staff constraints make you that you have to buy something. Yes. The same with like financial packages and all those things. You can't build everything yourself.
It's inspiring though to see like how much of the culture we are so proud of today was already there at the core of Agoda, 15, even 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Let me ask you a few more difficult questions. First of all, what was your hardest moment at Agoda?
Let's say the hardest moment that we had as a team was certainly at the end of 2005. There was a team that was doing SEO and trying to get more traffic and getting more ranking in Google, and they didn't follow all the rules that Google did right for that. So I think on the 15th of December, if I remember correctly, we had thousands and thousands of visitors from Google SEO, and the next morning there was nothing.
Wow.
And it was completely dried up. So Google kind of penalized us and say, okay, what you're doing to manipulate our ranking is not okay. And we tried to contact Google, we tried to do everything that we could, but we couldn't get our ranking back. So yes, we had to let go of a number of staff. A number of execs and managers had to work a few months without pay to make sure that we could actually save the company. And because we all believed in the company, we all believed that this was a good thing. We were already in the process of building the Agoda website. Yes, there was another website with another name before, but we were already in the process of building the Agoda website, and we all trusted that would become a success.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's why we, as a team, we picked that up.
On the flip side of it, what was the moment you are most proud of?
I think the moment that I'm most proud of as a CTO, but also as how my team worked on that moment, was in 2010. There were these political problems in Bangkok. Right. Office was basically surrounded, and actually this building where we are now was eventually put on fire.
Wow.
And was partly destroyed. So we had to make a decision. Are we letting everyone work from home? Are we letting people still come to the office? Certainly call center was in the office. A lot of financial functions were in the office. And in one weekend, we basically took everything that we needed out of this building. We did go to Dell to order an amount of laptops, and we did go with our infrastructure team and with people from the content team to a hotel that is the Imperial Queen's Park Hotel on Sukhumvit 22, I believe. And in one weekend, we basically set up like hundreds of workspaces there. We rented, I think, a complete floor of the hotel and the restaurant. And we were pulling cables in the restaurant over because the restaurant is all the tables with nice lights above the tables. We were just pulling cables over the lights because everything was not wireless on that moment. Right. Yes. And on Monday morning, people actually came to work and they could start working. We set up a VPN to our data centers. Yes. Yeah. I think that's certainly. Then you really accomplish something with a small team. It was the infrastructure team, it was myself, it was the content team that helped. Yeah, so I think it's a very proud moment, and what we have done for the business.
Yeah, it's an amazing story of the spirit, right? To get it done, and when it's completely uncommon, completely, not something that is in the day-to-day, but we still get it done. That's very inspiring.
Big rolls of cables and these kind of things.
Final question for today. If you had to name one thing, what do you miss most about working at Agoda?
It's very, very clear, the team. As an executive team, we had a great team when we started, yes, but actually, when you look at all the teams in the layers in the IT, we had a really great team. Also within IT, the teams, again, there was a good data team, a good QA team, a good infrastructure team. Finance had really good people. So I believe that one of the reasons that Agoda came to the level where we were in 2012 was that we all worked hard, we trusted each other. If I look at my IT team, they did not come early in the office, yes. That was a little bit of sometimes a frustration of mine, yes. But they always stayed late, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. They did go out, eat together, yes. And even now, it is now 13 years ago that I left. If I come to Bangkok, and I haven't not been much in Bangkok the last year, but if I come to Bangkok, mostly we organize a meetup with also the foreign, but also the Thai staff in IT were there in the first place. Yes. So I still in contact with them, and we have a line group. I said this morning that we would take this interview, and they said good luck. Yes. I follow, of course, Agoda very much on LinkedIn. I saw a video from Kun Noon, your director of business intelligence. Yeah. This is someone that I employed. Yes, and she has done an immense growth. Yes. For instance, yes. Sure. If you look where the team ended up, there's possibly a handful of the original team still at Agoda. Yes. But if you see where the team ended up, yes, they all got a really good job after their time at Agoda. Yeah. So with being part of this team, they have increased their own value in the market also. Yeah. So absolutely, number 1 team, number 2 team, number 3 team.
Amazing.
That's what I'm proud of.
Yeah, and that really makes sense to me, right? I think even with all the years, we talked about how the culture that was started and remained until today, and the team spirit. And I think if you ask me, what do I enjoy? Why do I come up, in the morning every day, like excited to go to work? It's, as you say, it's the team and the team and the team. That's really everything there is in Agoda. All right, Joost, really, thank you so much for coming today. It was a pleasure talking to you, and congratulations, happy birthday to Agoda on its 20 years. And I hope we meet again.
Okay, thank you very much.